Hello everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Homesteading the Desert. It is September 28th, 2018, and we're looking at no more openings in the wall. Yeah, all the siding is on, and I got the eave cap on this side. So I'm pretty much secured in. I got to put my trim piece up there because that keeps little bugs from going in, flies and insects and things like that. I do have some leftover siding here, and I'm thinking about cutting that into narrow strips and using that to go around the windows and go around the door. Yeah, my doors have eyed you. Anyway, I got a door in. I bit the bullet, went to Home Depot, and I just paid my card off. So I said, oh well, I'm going to put the door on there and get this thing closed in. So I got the door on. I had a lock set laying around. I put on here temporarily, and I've got a key for it so I can lock it. And we'll come inside here and listen to the echo. Yes, well, there we got the unit in there, and I've got it all foamed and weather sealed all the way around. I still have my Flashmate silicone here because I've got to go around and make sure I silicone all the little marks and crevices. Now, one thing I didn't mention before was down in every corner and up in the corner where the fascia meets the trusses, I always fill those with foam also. And anywhere where the plates come together, where I had to splice two plates together, I always foam under those also. I ran out of foam, so I'm going to have to go get more. I did start foaming in the gap here between the air conditioner sides, and I have to finish that, and then I also fill in the top and the bottoms so that I don't have to worry about air drafts coming through there. Right now I have the windows open, and as you can see, there's a couple of flies in here. They can get in because I have these gaps in the ceiling, and you're wondering why there's gaps in the ceiling. When you put the sheathing on, you have to gap them 1/8 inch between them because you do have heat expansion. And if you don't put a gap in between there, when they expand, they're going to buckle and you'll have a lump in your roof. So the proper installation of those is to make sure that you do leave 1/8 inch gaps. You can see the gap in that one from this angle, but yeah, that's part of the roofing process. All right, so now I am sealed in here, and I can get some work done in here. I've got some insulation. I can insulate the bathroom wall area. I think I've got enough to do all 3 bays there. And then I'll be able to put drywall on in the inside of the bathroom. And then I'll be able to set up my shower so that I'll be able to do indoor showers. The wind has been gusting all day today. And well, not all day. I didn't start working on this stuff until noontime. I got back at noontime. And I sat down and had a quick lunch first, and then I got all this stuff put on here. And you can see my siding is all on. The upper part's on. I'll put the 1x4s up there tomorrow and trim that excess roof off so it looks a little bit better. And I'll move on to some other things here. I'll also try to get some of the trim, make up some trim pieces and go around my windows and around my doors so it looks a little bit neater. And I have to put my my cover back on to my outdoor outlet there. And these are all GFI protected. They come off of a GFI in the kitchen. So if you're wondering if these are GFI outdoors, yes, they are. All right, we're coming around here. The wind is really howling. But the good news is that my cheapo turbine up there, my 400 watt turbine, has been producing 40 to 70 watts most of the day. Not bad for a 400 watt turbine, huh? All right, so I got my eave cap underneath on here already in there. You can see the foam coming out there in the seam where I foamed it, where the two plates come together, or the two fascia pieces come together. So like I said, I like to foam all those. The inside of these corners right there are foamed too. So bugs, wind, cold, rain, all of that stuff can't get blown into those. All right, now, while I'm walking down to talk about turbines, I had a question about turbines from Forever North Sanctuary. He was wondering which is better, AC or DC turbine. Well, there's a lot of controversy on that. It's kind of a personal preference, but there is one other thing that you have to think about, and that is how far away from your battery banks are you going to put your turbine? If you're going to be 100 feet away, then you want to probably use a 3-phase AC turbine. The reason for that is you can use smaller wire. You could probably run 12 or 10 gauge wire for that turbine all the way over and not get any voltage drop. If you had to do that with a DC turbine, you're probably going to be running number 6 wire so that you don't get voltage drop. The other thing is, with an AC turbine, you have to go through a rectifier or some type of a controller. So you would need 3 things with a DC, because your DC, you don't come through the rectifier, you go straight to the batteries. So you'd eliminate that. And you just tie the positive and negative straight to the batteries. And then you have to have a dump load, PWM dump load unit connected to that so that you don't overcharge your batteries. Now let me zoom in here. We're doing 85 watts right now, so not bad. 70, 72. So that's better than the normal I see on there is usually about 6 or 7 watts. All right, I was asked about that little PWM up there. That's the one that comes with Harbor Freight panels. And I just plug those in and connect them up as a quick reference point. I've got one inside the cabin too. So I don't have to come out here to see what charge I have in my batteries. I can just do a quick glance at them. And then it also gives you, I've got a little fan running off of there, so when it really gets hot out, I can turn that fan on and get some extra cooling to my inverter. You want to keep inverters cool. You don't want them to get too hot. And when I'm here, I'll keep the door open and let the air flow. When I'm not here, I've got vents on the side here. I've got to add one more around the corner here. I've got it sitting here somewhere. I just haven't had time to put it in. But I'll be doing vents pretty soon on the room addition. So we'll go from there. Now this is what I'm talking about is, this is a piece of siding that I ripped to a 3.5-inch width, and I use it to do a door frame. So I think I'm going to do that same thing over there. That'll save me some money. I won't have to go buy 1x4s. But I do still have to buy my corners here. I use metal on the corners. And the reason for that is sooner or later, you're going to bump it with a wheelbarrow or a cart or something. And if it's wood, you're going to have a nick in it. If it's metal, you'll have a dent, but you won't have to worry about repainting it with a dent on it. All right, that's about it. For today, I am going to go sit down inside and relax. Oh, by the way, you see my water bag hanging here. Some guy on the internet had a thing about hanging those bags out there to keep the flies away. And you put pennies in them. He said 4 pennies in it. Well, there's a bag hanging with 4 pennies in it, and there's flies flying around the coolers here and right there on the pole. So, burn! Not true. That bag does not keep flies away with the pennies in it. Come up with something else. That's an old wives' tale that doesn't work. All right, well, at least it doesn't work here. G-Bear signing off.